Capricorn 2020 horoscope. Welcome, dear friends. This is an astrology prediction for people who have their sun or rising sign in Capricorn. I'm also one of you, so what I will share with you affects me as well, but I will also share some personal experience because some of the aspects have already affected me personally. And I can really not stress enough how important this year is gonna be. We have some major, extremely rare combinations which trigger Capricorn. They are in Capricorn. Jupiter is gonna be there. Saturn, part of the year, there. Jupiter in conjunction with Pluto. Saturn in conjunction with Pluto. We also have the nodes shifting signs. We also have Venus and Mars retrograde. So this year is gonna be extremely important for so many people, but especially for Capricorns. So make sure to watch this video and prepare with me. I also want to let you know that the 2020 astrology calendar is available now. If you want to get the daily insights about visible, invisible planets, exact aspects, ingressions, lunations, and so much more, you can get yourself a copy through the link below the video. Now let's dive deep into our forecast because it is very exciting. And we are starting with Jupiter, the great benefactor, the planet that we are always excited to see. We are always happy. We are always expecting it to bring something positive. And it brings the positive stuff according to the area which is affected. But for us, the Capricorn people, 2020, Jupiter is in first house in Capricorn. So what it means is that it might be a positive event or growth or success regarding anything that concerns you, your own project, your own business. Usually that's something very important for Capricorn people. It could be about new things that you can start, about new education, about knowledge, wisdom. Jupiter is really, the planet which brings you the success and the expansion and the growth. So Jupiter in first house, we need to also relate that to the element or the element of the sign, basically. So Capricorn is an earth sign. So it means that the expansion is especially in the area of material stuff. It could be new business, it could be new promotion, for example, a new activity, a new idea, or any kind of growth which helps you to be more stable, helps you to feel more secure. So it's time for a new shift. It's time for a new period in your life. Keep in mind that this is something happening only once in 12 years. So in our adult life, we really have like a couple of those cycles. So don't hesitate to expand, to learn, to try something new, to focus more on your business, on your work, because you can really be rewarded. And there are other things that trigger your first house, Capricorn. So it's not just Jupiter, which makes it even more fun. The next thing we need to discuss is Saturn, which is our dear friend because Saturn rules Capricorn. And Saturn was in Capricorn during 2019 and part of 2020 as well, but not all of it. So from January until March and from July until the middle of December, Saturn is in Capricorn. That's especially important for people who are born after the middle of the Capricorn season. So basically after the 6th, the 7th of January. So it means that Saturn will make conjunction with your sun sign or with your rising sign, and that's always a big one. Now, some people are kind of afraid because Saturn has this bad reputation that it brings challenges and restrictions. But in my experience, it's not always the case, because my sun is around the middle of Capricorn of the sign. So basically, right now, actually, when I'm recording this video, Saturn is in exact conjunction with my natal sun. And to tell you the truth, I'm not experiencing those, scary things that some people talk about. So do I feel overwhelmed? Yes, I am. Do I work hard? Oh, yes, you bet I do. Do I have many projects? Yes, that's true. But I kind of like it, Capricorns, they are in alignment with the Saturn energy, especially if you enjoy working, if work is important for you. Then Saturn may push you or may put you in some kind of, corridor that you need to work harder. That is true, but you can always have more stability. You can have more focus. You may organize yourself, your life better. So from my personal experience, this is actually a very positive aspect. Now, I'm not saying that it's like flowers and roses all over. You need to work hard. You may need to work extremely hard to be very consistent, to be very patient, to be more precise. And one of the most important things about Saturn is that we really need to do the right thing. We kind of need to follow the principles. We need to follow the right procedure of how it's supposed to be. Not to do things under the table, if you know what I mean. Not to try to skip some steps, to jump. No, Saturn is slow, consistent movement and growth. So it could be quite productive, really. And on top of that, Saturn is not alone in Capricorn. So Jupiter is supporting. So yes, you may work really hard, but you may grow. There might be results. You may expand. You may feel like you are succeeding in that. So that is quite exciting, in my opinion. But Saturn is changing its sign position, guys. So Saturn will not be just in Capricorn. So part of the year, it will ingress in Aquarius from March until June and after the middle of December. Saturn in Aquarius in second house for Capricorn. This is a transit which requires even more focus, but on the practical things. So it's a transit that can help you to materialize things. So when Saturn is in first house, it's about starting something. It's about doing, it's more about the action. But when Saturn moves to second house, it's already time for seeing the results, for materializing something, putting your ideas into a concrete form. So for those type of practical things, this transit can help you. And when it comes to material stuff, money, you need to be more cautious, you need to be more precise. And if you work hard, you can have the material success and stability. But if you're kind of moving, trying to move, how did they say that? Like between the drops, or to do something under the table, it's not gonna be supported by Saturn. Saturn likes the rules, the principles, to do the right thing. So if you work hard, this transit may allow you to have this stability, or even to invest money in something, or to be more organized when it comes to money and finances. But sometimes this is also a testing period. So you may feel like, oh, I need to do something. Oh, I need to change something. Oh, I should not waste too much money. I should not be that impulsive in my financial decisions. So structure things. Also Saturn really likes accounting. Actually, accounting, that's a Saturn area. So one thing that you can do is to prioritize and to structure your expenses. and to know what exactly are you spending your money for. I'm kind of trying to do that. Honestly, it's not easy for me. For some people, it is. But with this Saturn in second house, I'm pretty sure that I will try even harder to do it. Nowadays, it's so easy. There are so many apps available and, other stuff that can help you. But with Saturn in second house, that's one of the best things that you can do, to have a clear idea of what you spend your money on, how you can optimize your budget, how you can manage your finances better. Maybe it's time to think about serious investments, but no wasting money, no spending money on, unimportant things. That's kind of, the best that you can do. And we also have some important aspects, guys, to discuss. Saturn will have a conjunction with Pluto. That's one of the major topics of 2020. Everyone is talking, asking, worrying in a way. And this conjunction is around the 22nd, 23rd degree in Capricorn. So it is extremely important if your the cusp of your first house is there, your ascendant, or if your sun is there. Basically, it means that you have to be born between the 9th or the 10th of January and the 13th. So people born around those couple of days may feel the strongest impact of this transit. But even if that's not you, even just because of the fact that the conjunction is in our sign, in our first house, it's important enough. So it's about restructuring. It's about transforming your own actions, your own rules, your own principles. And it might be quite intense. So it may feel like, we are kind of losing the ground under us, but it's just related to things that need to let go, that things that we need to cut out of our life. And we need to rebuild our own structures, our own rules. So lots of changes in our own project, in what you are doing, how you behave, what do you plan. Of course, in career, Saturn, Capricorn, Pluto, they are planets which are about, the social area, the society, the collective stuff. So it's highly possible that on a social level, there will be lots of changes for many of us, and especially for the Capricorns, it may affect them personally more than the other signs. But again, look at this as a way to transform yourself, to become more organized, more disciplined, and more focused on something. If you have a goal, if you have a task, something you want to work on, something you want to become better at, this aspect can be great for you to really concentrate, to dive deeper, to be more passionate, to be more logical. So it is quite intense. And it's interesting that that's not the only aspect. So Saturn is not alone there. Jupiter is around as well. Jupiter will be in exact conjunction with Pluto during April, June, and November. Again in Capricorn, again around those couple of degrees. So it is time for expansion. It is time for transformation of your own belief system, of your own rules. And you might be inspired to learn something. You might be inspired to dive deeper into something. So occult stuff, esoterics, science. The political area is also quite important, especially if that's part of your life, if you work in some kind of social area or a government structure or a very, powerful business area. Like, for example, the resources like petrol or something like that. then this aspect really accentuates your career. It shows you opportunity to grow. It shows you opportunity to have incredible expansion. You know, Pluto, it's about the transformation. Jupiter expand things. So it is one of the really, really important events through the whole year, basically. And as we said, Jupiter and Saturn are kind of chasing each other in Capricorn through the whole year, on and off. So we need to find the balance between the optimistic, the positive attitude and expectation, but at the same time, the realistic and grounded and logical approach. So where are you on this scale, and how you can combine those things together? And the exact conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn is actually in Aquarius at the end of the year, on the 21st of December, in your second house. So material stuff, materialization of some kind of project, ideas, you know, things that we have worked for during the year. The material result might be visible at the very end. As I told you, when something triggers your first house, and during this year, during 2020, both Jupiter and Saturn are in first house. So it's about the action. It's about starting something, initiating. And when this same thing changes the position, moves to your second house, it's already time to see some results, to see some kind of material form. And Jupiter and Saturn are moving to your second house at the same time and have this conjunction during December. So I think that around December, you may really see the materialization of your ideas, of your actions. So it's not just the ideas, it's about what you have already started to work for. Of course, it could affect you financially, and it can bring stable expansion. You need to grow. You can grow in this area, but at the same time, be practical, be precise about the decisions. But I find it very fascinating. So don't waste your time, guys. Don't waste time. You know, do things, start things, initiate, grow, expand. And at the end of the year, you may really see the visible results of your efforts and work. So next we have to discuss the nodes, and the nodes are also triggering Capricorn. So until May, the South Node is in Capricorn. So it also means that you kind of need to be in partnership with someone else. So you should not try to take all of the decisions independently or to do all of the work on your own. Ask for help, ask for advices, work more on your communication skills. You know, pay attention to what other people need, you know, what can help them, or how you can help them, or how you can both, you know, work together successfully. Of course, in relationships, this is actually very beneficial to have the North Node in seventh house. You know, you can have successful partnerships in your personal life, in your business. So don't just focus on yourself, especially until May. And after the 5th of May, there is a shift. The North Node will move to your 6th house in Gemini. And that's a very positive aspect for new opportunities and growth in the work environment, in the business area. So I really find it very interesting, you know, with all of those things triggering first house, you know, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto there. So you are the main player. You need to take action, especially after May, especially after the North Node changes, moves to your 6th house. So take action related to practical things, to your work. So new business projects, or applying for a promotion, or having more responsibilities at work or in the social area. It's just amazing. And you need to focus really on the practical things. Sixth house, it's about the material environment. 12th house, it's more like your own space, your private time, the time that you have for rest. Well, it's not the main focus. You may need to let go of some of your personal time or time for a rest so that you can focus more on the practical things, which is sixth house. I really am very excited because I love working. I love sixth house. And speaking about the nodes, we need to talk about the eclipses as well. We have 6 eclipses, guys, during 2020, which is a lot. The first one at the very beginning on the 10th of January. Basically, that's on the same day when we have the conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. So January is very transformative. And this eclipse triggers your 7th house. So you need to find the balance in the area of relationships and how you present yourself. Also, it could be time for a shift, time for a new relationship, or to let go an old relationship, to let it in the past, to stay in the past. So that's the main area, guys. Then during the summer, we have 3 eclipses in a row, but they trigger different houses. The first one on the 5th of June is a lunar eclipse in 12th house. So it's more about internal transformations, psychologically, emotionally, working more with the past, just letting go. Then on the 21st of June, there is a solar eclipse in 7th house. Important, new beginning, new phase in the area of relationships. What is it exactly? Well, it could be different for different people, but the main focus is there on other people, on your partners. The last summer eclipse is on the 5th of July and is also a very significant one because it's in Capricorn, in your own sign, basically on the 13th degree, on the 14th, if we have to be precise. So it is a big one. It puts the focus on you, what you can change about yourself, about your own actions, about your own activities. So very, very impressive one. And the last eclipses are at the end of the year. On the 13th of November, lunar eclipse in your 6th house, which allows you to change something at your work, in your job, in your business, to transform, to let go, to materialize also. If you have worked hard for a certain work project, it may really bring you visible results. And the last eclipse for the year on the 14th of December, which by the way is very close to the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. So pay attention, guys, how all of those eclipses kind of overlap with the other major events of the year. I don't know, but I'm very excited to see what will happen. So the last one, the solar eclipse during December, is in 12th house. So it triggers more our internal experiences, our spiritual experiences. So it could be quite transformative. It could be healing. It could be letting go of something, working more on yourself as well. So that's enough about the eclipses. Let's move on. Next, we have Venus. Venus, which will be retrograde, and that happens once in 18 months. So we are lucky to have Venus retrograde during 2020 as well, between the 12th of May and the 24th of June in Gemini in 6th house. So it's time to reconsider something in regards to our work, to our business, our responsibilities. And we might be over emotional in regards to those areas. We might overreact as well. And also there is a need to find the balance and the harmony. So the harmony is not there just, you know, by a rule. We need to work for it. It might be kind of a challenge as well. So it's not recommended to start brand new career projects specifically in this period. On the positive side, you might find more time for reflection, to observe, to analyze what have you achieved in your work, in your business, what would you like to change, what hasn't worked very well, change it, look at it from a different angle. And on the other side, old business projects can be restarted. So something in the past you have tried, it didn't work, try again now. Relationship with business partners can be restarted as well. So overall, all things related to your business can be restarted. Just try not to start brand new things. Then there is another important transit, Mars retrograde between the 9th of September and the 12th of November in Aries, between the 28th and the 15th degree, triggering 4th house. So it's an interesting transit which requires to be more careful, especially in the home environment. And that's a very important transit, guys, if you are born in the second half of the Capricorn season. So basically, after the 5th. So I'm born on the 5th. My sun is around the 15th, actually on the 15th degree. So Mars will square my sun. And also, if you're born between the 5th of January and, you know, the end of the sign around the 20th, then Mars is gonna square your sun or rising sign. And this is an aspect which can bring some tension. It's possible to happen. You may need to change something about your actions, about your behavior. There might be some kind of anger issues that can be suppressed or expressed improperly. So just, you know, try to relax, don't push things too much, especially in the home environment. People can provoke you at home, family members, you know, both parents or your children or other people. So try not to confront, try not to provoke, you know, the confrontations. And overall, that's not a positive time for buying a property or taking some really important decisions in regards to property stuff. That's the most important about Mars. Then we have Mercury retrograde, which is retrograde on a day, not on a daily basis, luckily, but on a yearly basis. And the first cycle is February and March. Mercury is retrograde in 3rd and 2nd house for Capricorns. So more cautious, you need to be more cautious with communication, all kinds of plans, trips, and the financial stuff. Then during the summer, June and July, Mercury retrograde again, this time in 7th house. So this time we need to be careful with the personal area, the relationship area, the partnerships. And the last Mercury retrograde cycle is October, November in 11th and 10th house. So we need to be more careful with social projects, community projects, and also work, career, and business. And as usual, we know that those Mercury retrograde cycles are not beneficial for starting brand new things. So be cautious, check everything, try to postpone the really important new beginnings for after that. And now we are moving to the outer planets, guys. That's the last thing we have to discuss. And we are starting with Uranus, which is in Taurus, in a friendly sign, so to speak. So Uranus is supporting us, especially if your sun or rising sign is here between, I would say, the first 13 degrees, because Uranus is between the 3rd and the 11th degree. If we give a little orbis before and after, so in the first 13 degrees, it means that Uranus is supporting you. Uranus is having a trine with your sun or rising sign in Capricorn, which is always a positive thing for changes, for experiments, for new experiences, especially in the 5th house area, which means creativity, which means also romance, your love life, and kids and children, and basically everything that you enjoy doing. So you may feel more ready to make certain changes, personal changes, or in your love life, or related to your kids, and also to be more inspired and creative. So it is a nice aspect. If Uranus is crossing your 5th house on the other side, there may also be some kind of surprise, something unexpected happens, something triggers you. So, open up your heart for the changes. Don't be afraid of them. Neptune is also our friend. Neptune is in Pisces between the 16th and the 21st degree in 3rd house. So very inspirational position for new ideas, potentially also spiritual ideas. Friends can help you, can support you. You can learn, you may explore some spiritual stuff, or psychology related things may also be very interesting to you. So overall, this is a positive aspect for creativity and spirituality, especially if your sun or rising sign is close to those degrees, 16th and the 21st degree. And now we have only Pluto left. So Pluto is the most transformative planet. It's in Capricorn in 1st house through the whole year between the 22nd and the 25th degree. If you guys have your sun or rising sign there, and especially for the sun, you can give plus and minus 2 degrees. So between the 20th and the 27th degree. That would mean to be born, let's say, between the 9th of January and probably the 15th, the 16th, something like that. If you are born in this time frame, it means that Pluto will have a conjunction with your sun. And I have experienced that in the previous years, so it's not a joke. It's some serious energy, and it's very transformative. Also, those transits are quite long. If Pluto triggers your sun, it lasts for approximately 3 years. So it's a period of personal transformation. Especially at the beginning, it might feel very stressful or very unknown. You don't know what's happening, what's going on, what should I do? The truth is that after the aspect is gone, after it finishes, you will realize that so many things have changed for you and you are not the same person anymore. That it's like guaranteed that you won't be the same person. You may feel very empowered, you may feel very focused, very concentrated. So it's really the most transformative aspect one can experience in a lifetime. It can happen only once, and not everyone will have this aspect because Pluto is moving very slow. So, for example, if you're a Cancer, a Leo person, a Gemini person from our generation, well, probably you won't experience that unless you live like 200 years. So anyway, my point is that this is a once in a lifetime aspect. It's very important, and use it to change things in your life. Don't resist the changes. If you try to escape, to resist, it will happen, but it will be more painful. So on the other side, prepare yourself, be willing, try to cooperate with the universe, with the energies. And I always recommend people struggling with something Pluto is triggering for them, energy practices, guys. Reiki, yoga, Tai Chi. The EFT method is a great source as well, a great tool. So use some of those methods just to, you know, support the process and let go of things. Don't try to keep the old stuff. You know, Pluto and Saturn, they don't like, you know, old structures. They need to transform the structures. So that, my friends, was your 2020 horoscope. Lots of things. So it is a big year. You are the sign that will experience the most intense changes and transformations. So be ready, be proactive, be open for this transformation, and you will be surprised of, you know, the results that you can achieve. So if you want to have this presentation, it's available. I can send it to you. Just write your email in the comments and you will have it later. Thank you so much, Capricorns. And please let me know in the comments, what are you most excited for? I cannot wait to see your perspective about the upcoming year. It was a real pleasure for me, as always. I'm wishing you an amazing, inspiring, and productive 2020. Take care, and I'll see you soon.